Fucking Christ! Fucking Jaggerboxes, bro! Alright, what's going on, everyone? My name is Just Calling Me, and today I'm gonna do a tip/guide for newcomers to play Rake, aka the killer in this game. And I see a lot of people kind of struggling, just like with the Survivor one I did. If you haven't seen that, you definitely go check it out. If you're new to playing Survivor this game, definitely go check out my last video I did, where I gave a very deep analysis about how to play Survivor in this game. But now I think it's time for me to go over Rake, because I feel like that's also an important area of the game, because you can play the Rake, and it is somewhat hard to understand and really, I would say, dominate when you play Rake. For me personally, I haven't lost yet playing Rake. I feel like I am in control every time I play, and I rarely feel like I get pushed by survivors. Hopefully that will change in the future. But for now, I feel like I'm pretty good at playing Rake, so that's why I want to give this this tips and guide for new players. So let's go in and see how to play. Alright, so how you play Rake? This killer is, I would say, somewhat blind. His visual is very blurry, and he can't really see somewhat in front of him. He's got very blurry sight, but that's kind of where the game's title come into play, because it's in silence. So it kind of hits towards that there's gonna be, you can hide from this killer, but if you make too much sound, that's where he's gonna find you. So he ain't gonna fucking see nothing here. You can literally, if you want to crouch the whole game, you can crouch the whole game as Survivor. But there's a time limit. Probably most people online is not gonna play unlimited time. There is the option to play unlimited time. I would say fuck that. That's gotta be the most tedious game of hide and seek ever in this game, because it's super hard to see his Rake. But his biggest power is that he can hear basically everything in the game. And for starters, we're just going over his general powers in the game that you can use. For starters, he's got a sprint. His sprint is actually really good, especially now, because if I made a video of this on release, the Rake was super fast just holding shift, and you could basically cover the map pretty much instantly, or not instantly, but you could cover the map pretty fast because his speed was like the double as what it is right now. So you got nerfed a bit on speed, but I think that's okay. That actually makes his skill sprint, makes it a little bit more viable now, and actually makes it so you actually want to use it instead of just sprinting around the map on shift. And you don't really need to use sprint, even though it is a bit faster than normal shift holding when the game came out. It is a little bit faster, but still, like, before, holding shift around the map was super easy, and you could easily just cover the map pretty much really fast. But now I feel like he got maybe half that speed now. I feel like that's an okay spot for him, so he can't just fucking steamroll at the start of a match. I can show you a clip where I can show you something right here where I completely found, or dominated, I should say, the first start, because I knew I always spawned far away from every survivor, and I knew exactly where to go. I have to go to the barn, that's the middle, and that general direction where I came from, I just have to go the opposite way, and that's straight ahead. So when you go straight ahead, you're probably going to find survivors, and at the start, people always want to talk to each other, or they run. Not at the very start, everyone's going to crouch. So at the start, people will make sounds. At launch, it was really easy to find people if you just ran at the other end of the map, because people were talking and moving without crouching, so they made noise, and you could cover that map pretty fast. Oh yeah, United is playing. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Oh, I'm the Rake again. Hello? Oh, so don't go. Oh shit. I'm getting a lot of them right now. you can't do the same anymore, which is good. Because at the start you have two cooldowns on both sense and sprint, or sense and sprint. And Rake, when you use sprint, is actually pretty viable now. But also, I don't think a lot of people actually know this, even though it says it right here. If you sprint right into a survivor, you're actually gonna grab him instantly. So if you see a guy, maybe he just escaped your grasp, and he's running straight, he's not really going to the side. If you actually just hold, like, press sprint, and you actually go into him while he's just running in a straight line, you actually automatically grab him without having to press F. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I actually found it out I did it by complete accident when I did it. So that when you sprint into another person, you are automatically gonna grab them no matter what. If you hit him, of course. And his other ability is probably his best ability, like bar 4, and that sense makes your blurry vision a lot more clear. It's like if you someone that had glasses, if you take glasses off, that's literally having the Rake's vision. If you take glasses on, that's like using sense. It's gonna be the general same. He's just gonna have a very he's just gonna have a better visual around what he can see in front of him. It's still a very dark game, and he gets kind of his own light the more he moves forward. He can just see in his general space. But when you use sense, it's just easier for him to see in front of him. And then it also says here, if the survivors are so lucky that they open the armory when they're up against you, when you're Rake, when you're gonna grab them, remember that you can actually sprint with the survivors in your arms. So now you don't stand still and try to execute them. Now you can actually run away with your victim, especially if they got no flashbangs. Then it's an easy target before maybe someone can actually get hit on you, because you actually run pretty fast still when you're grabbing someone. So that's just your general information about how to play. But just as I did as Survivor, I am also saying look up the controls for the specific killer, or for this instance, for playing Rake or for playing Survivor. That's always something I want to do so I don't miss out on the controls. That's actually going to be very crucial for your gameplay when you're playing the game. But as I said in the Survivor one, the Rakes is very simple. It's only WASD for movement, F to either destroy items you see, and destroy items, that is everything the survivors can pick up and use in their inventory slot, despite objectives. So if they have a bear trap, camo, scarecrow, you name it, those items that they can use against you, you can destroy them. Let's say also that someone set a trap inside a house and it's active. If you see it before you enter the house, you can actually destroy it without that being active. So you can instantly just look down, hold F, destroy it, walk in. I tried to do that. I actually didn't know that was a thing until it happened to me when I played Survivor. When I was trying to bait the killer to come towards me upstairs in one of the houses. And if he went into the trap, I had my escape way to get away before he could actually catch me. Well, I saw him standing at the door. He looked down, and he instantly destroyed my trap, and then he came right after me. Fuck, it's on! Motherfucker! No! Shit! Oh, fuck! So you can destroy traps that are on the floor and they're active just by holding F, but you just have to look down and see them. And also you can destroy radios, TVs, like just general decoys, scarecrows, and camo. You can also destroy. I'll say if you see camo, destroy it. Because camo, for me, when I play Survivor, I love playing with camo. Camo is so good, especially if you just came out of his grasp. You have camo on, you run away, crouch in a bush, and then probably try to throw some rocks. It's super effective, and it works every time for me. But this is not a Survivor tutorial, it is a Rake tips and guide. But with all that said, I am actually not going in to play, because for me, getting to play Rake is like a hit and miss. I've probably played around 10 games as Rake. I haven't lost one yet, by the way. I've won everyone. Every single game I played as Rake, I've won. So I'm not saying this is the way you should play. I'm just saying this is what, for me, I find very efficient, and it actually, and I get games ended in like 8 minutes, and even somewhat before 8 minutes, and that's with a 20-minute timer. I have had a game that lasted 5 minutes as me as Rake, and that was with a 15-minute timer, I think. But that was also when the Rake had super fucking fast movement speed. But he doesn't have, he's not that fast now. But still, I can pretty much end games as I want to. If the survivors, they want to give me sound cues, I'm going to find them. And I'm going to show you how you can find them by sound cues. So let's go over and show, I'm going to show you that clip, or that VOD I have from my stream. And if you haven't seen my Twitch stream, definitely go check me out. Just call me via.tttv. But for now, let me show you that clip. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to pause whenever I see that is something very important for you that I think you should know what I do in my gameplay. But I'm literally just going to take you over my gameplay of this is around 8 minutes. I said 9 minutes this game lasted. And at the start, I didn't even find people for the first 2 minutes. So you can take 9 minutes off, that's literally 7 minutes, and I end the game. So yeah. I'm just going to show you how I play the Rake, and you get a general idea. I'm going to stop every time I think there's something very important that I think you should know. Other than that, I'm just going to show you the gameplay in general. Alright, so let's get into it. Yeah, bro, I can definitely feel the guy nerfed on pace. And what I mean when he got nerfed on pace, like before he was super fast. Now he's got a normal movement speed, that's okay, so it ain't too bad. I feel like it's okay. It's actually it's easier to actually see something around you now. I think that's actually a good thing for him. That Rake actually got that nerf on movement speed. See here? Already here. When you see items, just hide, like, scatter out the way. You go to a tent, you see a scarecrow, just to get out. Get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way. You have time. You don't get that many sound cues at the moment, so why not just go and destroy a decoy basically that can disorientate you later in the game. So just get rid of it when you can. And right now, I'm just listening. I'm trying to find sound cues. I'm going around trying to see if I can push people to do a dumb move. So okay, I'm just gonna pause you again. The way I play Rake, let's just say that I want to pressure the map as much as I can. I don't want to stay in the general area for that long, actually. Even if I find a sound cue here, but if I don't find anything, I'm gonna pressure the map somewhere else. I constantly want to stay around, going around the map, not like maybe go to the point, maybe go back to the house. Try to go around, try to see if you find different sound cues. Stay in one general area, then you're gonna lose. Like that's just it. If you keep searching for a noise you may have heard or something, just don't bother with it, that noise, or that person is probably gonna make a mistake later on. Because when you're far away for a survivor, like at least too far away, you have a somewhat distance where he can actually run around and walk before you can even hear his sound cue. So when you get close to him again, if he starts walking or running, he can't really hear you coming from far away, but when you get very close, he can kind of hear you. But in that time where he can't hear you, but you're getting sound cues of him walking around or running, you know that he's here, and then you can start chasing. But at this time, I haven't found anyone. I didn't think I'd get any good sound cues for at least to go and look like hardcore into something. And also another thing, when you hear one crow fly away from the pack, don't bother. It's just a decoy for you, basically. It's just a decoy noise. When you hear one bird fly away, don't bother. It's just the game doing its thing. If you hear the pack fly away, it is very easy to tell if it's just one or the whole pack of birds. If you hear the pack, go for it. Unless you triggered it, you can also trigger the birds. But if it's just one, don't bother. Keep moving on. Keep searching. I'm getting, so you can see down the minimap. I'm actually getting sound cues, but it's so far away I don't want to look. So I'm gonna do other things. And now I'm getting sound cues in the general area. Now I'm interested. And that was one crow. To be honest, I don't really want to bother with that one, but I didn't really get anything else. But that was one crow. And that's the general pack. That was what I went for. Also, when you're in houses, you might as well just check the house. You never like people they want to go to houses. A lot of objectives are in houses, but just check every corner. It doesn't take that long to search a house. If you have the chance to search every corner in a house, do it. Because people often hide in corners. So just check corners. Nothing. Okay. They got gas down here. Good to know. A good tip I'll say, remember where you find objectives, because I'm not gonna say you can camp the objective, because right now we're playing a standard and there's multiple areas for these items to spawn. If you're playing a nightmare, it would be a very good idea to remember where this objective or this one thing was, because when you're playing a nightmare, there's only one gas canister and one key, all that shit. But at least you know there's an objective here, so people, if they come here, you have to be kind of not protective, but at least you know there could be a threat here for you for them to escape. I found one guy. That's not like me. Oh, and the start is kind of it is just getting into the pace. It was actually my first game playing for this stream. So not me finding one in at least 2 minutes. That's a rough start. That for me that's a rough start. I always find one within the first minute. I was just gonna stop here. This is a radio decoy. The way you can tell the radio decoy or television decoy, I think they have the same kind of bubble they kind of make. A radio decoy, you can see it goes bump, and then it waits a little bit and bump. Even though it's the same sound all the time, it goes like bump, bump. But if it's Survivor, it goes bump, bump, bump. If they move fast, if they're walking or running, it's got bump, 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 bump. So if you know there is a radio turned on, but you can hear there's a bump, bump, bump. It's going very slow in that circle that comes around where the noise is. You can see it down here, right down here. This circle around here. She just where at the moment at this area of this time there was a sound. Boop. But Survivors goes a little bit fast. If they run, it's like bop 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 bop. It goes a lot faster than this. So I already by telling, I knew this was a decoy, but as well, I saw something run the opposite way, because obviously if someone was here not that long ago, because I was pretty close to this area, and when it started turning on, someone must have ran away, because when someone is turning on a radio, you want to get the fuck out of there. You want to get the hell out of there. You go fast. So I saw there was something here. You can kind of see it if you look closely. There is another sound down here. But if I would have done this over again, played this match completely the same, I would have destroyed the decoy first, because it can annoy you in the long run. Because if you don't destroy it now, it's just gonna piss you off later on. But I actually went for this chase, and I'm gonna show you why I did this, because I'm actually getting something out of it. And you see, it popped up again, so he is very close, and that circle ain't that far away. So I'm just gonna check in this general area, and I found one. And I was gonna get away, but this is where I see everyone fail. Everyone fail in this area. People always lose they always lose their victim all the time, and this is so easy just to fix. When you get blinded, just look down at your mini map. Just look at it. Look at it every time. I'm gonna show this probably a couple of times. I just go a little bit back again. Let's go 10 seconds back. We're gonna look it back again. I gotta talk over this. You know exactly which one that's the radio. It has the slow beep, alright? Now you get another beep, and that one is beeping a lot faster. A lot faster. So you know he went this way, and then again, at some point it just stopped. So you know at this point he crouched. He didn't throw any fucking rocks, because they were getting another notification where he went. But if that was just, if you throw a rock like somewhere close to the middle, and it was just one beep, and I heard nothing more, I would still keep looking at this area. Because when you see a lot of beeps going one way, and it for some reason stopped. He crouched. 100% he crouched. It happens every time. I'll do it again right here. Fast bubble, boop, 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 and you can see the other going very slow, and then this one is just keep going. So that's how I chase in this game. If you do this, you get everyone every time. It's super easy. I'll just go back and show you it again. Just look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look. Keep an eye on this one. How much this one is beeping compared to this one. I'm going to show you again. At this point, now look at this one. This one down here. Look how much faster this one down here is going to beep than this one. It does almost double as fast. So you know this one is a survivor. He keep running. But he stopped again. Because there are no bubbles. That's the greatest tip for in chase. Do that. Every time. Every time works. Every time. Unless you're up against something like what I do as a survivor. I know somewhat when he can start moving. So I run in a direction very fast until I find a bush. Somewhat 3 to 4 seconds I count in my head. Crouch, throw rocks. Throw rocks. Throw all the rocks you have. Because the more sound noise you make, the more you're going to get disorientated. A lot of people don't do this. I hope they will in the future because that's how I escape every fucking time I'm up against the Rake. Every time I play Survivor, I just run, crouch, push, throw rocks, escape. Every time. Almost every time. It works a lot of the time, okay? A lot of the time. But this is how you find a Survivor. If they get too cocky and start running too fast, and you know the sound beats, they keep going, and you know it's going fast, then you know that it's him. I want to see what the range is, actually. And what I mean, I want to see what the range is. That's for the radio. I didn't know how far the distance is for you to be out of range, to not hear the radio. So I just want to see. Even though I should have destroyed it because it's actually going to be a little annoying. It is a very annoying thing. And I don't know if people... I'm stopping a lot, I know. I know I'm stopping a lot. But I don't know if people actually know this. When it's raining, for the Rake, you get a lot more visibility. It's actually like, when you don't have glasses on, you just put them on constantly. You don't have to use sense or fucking anything. Alright? But, also, when it's raining... Even though it's very easy to see, even if you go inside a house, you can see everything clear as day. Like, there's nothing there. You can see everything. But you cannot hear sound cues anymore. So, it's kind of working for Rake in a good way, but it's also a good thing for survivors. Even though I've heard, this is definitely a good thing for survivor or for the Rake. Not necessarily. Not necessarily this is a good thing for the Rake. For me, I would much rather have sound cues than have great visibility. Because it's still a very fucking dark map. Like, it's still very dark. So for me, having a good visibility, but I have very good survivors that are maybe hiding. And for now, I don't really want to hide inside. I generally I want to run around from house to house pretty fast. Loot as much as I can. Because even if you step on a teddy bear or you go in a jacket box, if you find one of them, or the phone rings for that matter, the Rake will not know where you are because this rain is taking up every sound cue of you. But he only got great visibility, but he does not know where you're going to go. Like, he does not know which house you're in or anything. So, it's a good thing for Rake, but it's also a bad thing for Rake, but it's also a bad thing for Survivor, but it's also a good thing for Survivor. It depends on how I look. I think this is... I don't want to say this is... I think this caters, at least when I look at it, I think this caters more to survivors. Because if you have a full team, let's say that. If you have a 5-man, you haven't found one guy yet. And this is at the 3-minute mark into the game. 3 minutes in. I found one guy. So there's 4 guys left. They can just start running around now. And I can only chase one guy at a time. And they at least have a flashbang each. At least. So for them, they can actually loot an area pretty fucking fast. But if they get in a chase with me, I have a high chance of not knowing where they're going. And that's going to show that later on. I have a high chance of like not seeing where they're going because it's still very dark. I can only see so much in front of me because it's that dark. So for this tactic, we're listening off for sound cues on the minimap. You can't do that when it's raining. So I still think this is a better thing for survivors, guaranteed. And I by complete accident here in a moment I find the car and I want to check the car as well. I'm gonna show you that.
Holy shit, that got nerfed. Oh my god, he's. Oh.
See, now you just destroy it. You can even destroy it if it actually arms. So it's kind of a win-win. If you see it, just destroy it. With everything, camo, destroy that.
His speed got nerfed pretty hard.
There was also a telly there. I don't really go for tellies. If people want to use them as decoy, I'll actually invite it. At least in here, because I know they're here. It's hard to get away from a building if they're in there, because you have to do some really good moves.
I think I get run over here.
I thought I was getting run over. Oh, actually, also, that's gonna come later. I'm gonna tell you that later. I'm gonna tell you that later.
Might be the radio actually.
I'm gonna tell you that later with the rush, at least with the sprint you can do. So you can do some good moves as well.
Yeah, that out of the way.
See, I found the car there. You guys see the headlights. And luckily for me, there was one here. But this is what I'm talking about now. For my strategy of going off sound cues, because now I completely lost this motherfucker. I do not know where he went. It was impossible for me to know. Because I don't have any sound cues. Yeah, I can see someone in front of me. Yeah, I can see. But I don't know where he went. I didn't know where the general direction he went. By this point, I think I know where he went, but this is actually the radio, so I actually completely fucked up, and that's what I mean. Destroy decoys if they're turned on, just destroy them whatever. Like, don't wait. Yeah, exactly. That's what I say there. Listen to this guy, alright? He knows. There we go. This is what I want to show off. Remember when you're in your rush or your sprint, as it's called when you use Q. Remember, you can actually jump in it, and you get a pretty high jump. I actually, as you can see, what I do right here in a moment, I rush towards the building, and I actually jump on the roof. Just to show off, you can actually jump onto the house pretty easily. Just saying, normal jump, not that high, just getting over the basic stuff, but if you rush jump, you get really high. And again, I just went off sound cues there. And now I'm going to do this right again. It keeps popping, keep popping. That was fast pops. I knew he's right here. In this area, he's in here. Yeah, every time. It works.
I am not deaf.
I always take houses when I can. All the time. And I remember there was a bear trap here that just destroyed it. So they can't use it against me anymore. Again, check every corner because they are going to hide in corners. I would do that. I'll hide in the corner. Of course. You don't want to hide in the visual side of him. Just always go in the corner and just check corners. Every time.
Check the car real quick. How much do they need? They need a wheel, at least 2 wheels.
I just checked the car because I was just curious to see because I feel like I was losing here. But I was pretty much winning. Because they still needed some items. They at least need 2 wheels, which are can be hard to find. They can be hard to find.
Rake? Yes, you can. You can talk in game, yeah.
More camel? Get that out of the way. All you find, destroy it. And I found 1 wheel here, so I knew there was a wheel here.
Damn, they really slaughtered him on the base. It was also kind of crazy, not gonna lie. It was.
Also, I think, I can't really hear it here, but I think why I stopped, when people either escape or die, they become rats. And you can actually hear them, like, their tiny footsteps, like, walking around. If they're close to you, you can actually hear them, like, and that's why I'm listening a lot for sound. Like, when I play these types of games, at least when I'm playing Killer, I'm listening out for sounds. Because it will help you a lot. Like, even if they crouch and they walk into something that can make a little bit of a sound, maybe a walking sound, it's really obvious there's someone there. But for rats, they are gonna make like so they have footsteps in the game. Just so you know.
It was a little bit too much. It was a bit too much.
I'm still just trying to cover the map as much as I can. As much as I can. Keep pressure. Keep pressure on everything.
They're playing the immerse game here, I see. Alright.
I mean, I'm also gonna give a little tip for survivors. When you're in a house, I know it's hard to see sometimes, but when you use your flashlight, only click it once in a while on and off. Don't keep it on for that long, especially if you hear the Rake's footsteps outside. Do not keep the flashlight on even for a second. Because I don't know why, at the moment, the flashlight is somewhat bugged, and you can actually see the flashlight going through the building, no matter if there's a window or it's a solid wall. The flashlight would actually shine through the building, so it's pretty easy for a Rake to tell that there is a survivor in there, because the flashlight is a big tell. So just so you know. I'm just being very aggressive to sound now, because now there are not that many people left, so I'm being very aggressive to sound. Try to see if I can find someone in this area.
Might have been a rock. Probably a rock.
Oh, look at those sound cues. They're right here as well. Oh, there was one right there. And now I'm gonna do the chase thing again. I'm gonna do it right again. Sound cues keep popping one way at very quick succession, so I know they went this way. Because they ain't rocks. They can't throw them that fast.
Ah, you gotta wait. Nope.
I just kept searching. I found them.
Did not get it. No.
See, I'm gonna show you something again here that actually very crucial for me finding the last guy after I find this other guy right here in a second. You see, there's a sound cue very, very close to me because the bubble is so big that you know he's very close. So I knew he was out here. He wasn't inside because I was just checking inside. He was not upstairs. I guarantee you that. I knew he was outside, and I found him. I'm gonna stop it when I see it. You see him running one way.
Come on, move. I can't move.
Right here. This motherfucker started talking to the other guy. And I didn't know. I thought this was the guy I actually chased. But if I don't know if you can actually see it, but right down here, there's another sound cue. And when you talk and you're very close to him, you make sound cues. So I knew this guy was running this way. I knew that for a fact because the sound cues kept popping up very fast. But for just me remembering after I catch this guy, I remember there was a sound cue down here, and I remember us seeing someone was talking in game. I actually thought it was this guy, but it turned out not to be, and I found out of the kill feed. I knew it went this way, and also this is a very important thing. Again,
I knew there was someone there.
look here, what happens? We're chasing that guy. You see this bubble down here? I go straight towards it, but it turned around 180 degrees. So I know he stopped before this. So I'm gonna keep on going here, but I had to turn back because I knew he was behind me. Like, you can somewhat tell what survivors are gonna do if you see them running one way. You see bubbles coming up every time, and then you run towards it. But for some reason, that bubble turned around. That bubble means the last sound cue that was here was right at this area. So I knew he wasn't going straight ahead, because then he would make more sound if he was running at least, or walking. So he must have crouched, and crouching is just to keep quiet, and you don't move that fast. So I knew he was here, and I found him right away. And right here, the kill feed says it was Roy.
There's one more. Oh, message.
And that was the guy I saw on the talking in game, and I knew he was down here.
Exactly.
Even though I got a sound, that might have been a rat, or that might have been birds. But I couldn't hear that; it was so far away. But I knew he was here because I knew that sound cue was there, and he also made a sound up here. He could have moved, but he didn't. And it's easy to see. It's easy to see. I just gotta wait anyways. I haven't really talked about how I use sense, but I use sense now. At least at the start, I use it just to see, like to go around to get a general direction of where I'm going or where I am in the map. But I always use sense after I grab someone. I don't want to use it too frequently. But as you've seen, every time I grab someone and they flash me and they try to run away from me, and I see what direction they're running, I'll use sense just to get a general idea to see better, to have a even higher chance of actually catching them. Because when I know where they're going, I'm gonna turn on shift and get very, very close to them every time and be. Because when I see that sound crew stop, I might as well just turn on sense anyway from there because I know they're here. So if I can see them better, I'm gonna kill them faster. So that's how I use sense most of the time. But at the start, I just use it just to see around. And this thing, I really do hope they fix this because this is actually a very annoying thing for survivors. If you're, I'll say also another survivor tip, I guess. When you know the Rake is close and he's definitely gonna search like closed areas, don't be in such a closed area that you cannot walk past him because when you flash him, he has this massive collision box that you cannot really go past. And it gets a little bit annoying, so I actually hope in the future they are going to make it every time you flash him, at least when he grabs you, there's going to be no collision for at least 3 seconds. You actually have a chance to run away. I hope they're going to implement it. I don't know, but I hope, because he literally died because of that. But he was dead anyways, because I was going to track him down no matter what. And that is how it is. And it's actually, it's not that hard playing Rake. I don't know why people they say, oh, it's so fucking hard. I can't see anything. No, it's the point. This is a very different asymmetrical horror game compared to any other asymmetrical horror game. This is just sound based. You're seeing so many games at the moment, at least or horror games being released right now that has something to do with if you make too much sound, you might be fucked. But they just brought this into an asymmetrical horror game. I think it works perfectly. This game fucking nails this so good. I'm actually really surprised Inside made it. Like, they really fucking nailed it. For me. It is supposed to be very hard to see this killer, but you also get so much information for the sound cues. That's what you have to use. Use the sound cues, especially when you find a guy. Use them sound cues, because if you know you're close to him, either he's just gonna hide, or if he keeps running, just follow the sound cues. And if they stop randomly, you know he crouched. He can't do anything else. But it is somewhat. It's sometimes hard to find them if they are really good at actually trying to make you go. Like, if they, let's say that, again, this is how I escape the Rake when I get grabbed. I flash them, run for 3 to 4 seconds, crouch in an area where at least I can hide somewhat well or be a little bit immersed with the environment. Especially if you're close to the barn, definitely go in the cornfield. Cornfield doesn't make any sound noise if you go in it. It's literally just a visual thing. They don't make any sound. It's not like in Dead by Daylight where walk through you can hear that. In this game, there is nothing. It's so effective, like hiding in the cornfield. It's just so close to the barn. Just fucking run to it. Just run. And then when you're there, crouch, throw rocks. If you have a lot of rocks, just throw them all. Like, make a lot of sound for the Rake so it's hard to find them. Because then you're going to escape. But if you're the Rake, follow the sounds and capitalize on it. Capitalize on you can hear them where they're going every fucking time. Because you can. If they're not crouching, you make sound. If you're walking, you make sound. If you're running, you make sound. As a Rake, capitalize on it. You get kills easy. Easy. I hope you can use this guide or maybe some tips and tricks to play a Rake. This works for me. Again, I've probably played around 10 games or somewhat as Rake, and I haven't lost yet. No one has been able to open the armory against me, and no one has been able to escape by the car. I've always pressured them so hard that they can't do fuck all against me. I feel like I'm a dominant Rake. I'm not saying, oh, I'm the best. Listen to me. This is the best tips you can get right here in this channel, of course. No. I'm just saying, at the moment, this works for me, and I've been very dominant playing Rake, and I feel like it's actually very fun playing Rake. I don't feel the frustration that most people have, saying, oh, it's so hard to see people. I don't know how people can find anyone. You just have to use your ears and use your minimap as much as you can. If you really get used to just listening around and looking at your minimap, you can dominate with the Rake. He's such a strong killer. I don't think people really know how strong he is. But that's also if the time limit is there for it. I'll say 20 minutes, definitely the soft spot for me. 20-minute games are fun games. It makes people not crouch around all the time because crouching is super slow as well. And it makes people make moves, to do something, to make sound for you to capitalize and chase them and kill them. What makes fun gameplay and makes it really intense for survivors. And that's how it should be. This is a good horror game, and I think they fucking nailed it. But I hope you can use this for something. If you want more content, at least for me on In Silence, definitely do hit that like button or comment down below, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.